Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show, and we're going to get right to business today. Shannon's not available to be with us today, but she'll be back next time. But we're going to jump right into a video that I released yesterday. We're going to take a look at it again, and then we're going to talk about it. And then we've got a special guest that's going to be calling in to speak with us here in just a little bit. So we'll get this done, and then we're going to have Dan call in and we're going to talk about some things that we're going to have to kind of code some of the words and stuff a little bit and be careful what we say, but we're going to talk about something that we're kind of seeing going on, and we want y'all guys' opinion because y'all guys are the eyes and ears out there that might know if this is actually going on, and then we're going to give you some updates on some things as well. But let's get right to this video right now. Let's go. If you haven't seen this, realize that I'm going to go in detail and show you what you're not seeing. But this is a guy that comes up to somebody's door, I think his father-in-law's house, and it's beating on the door. And there's something that starts flying around in the sky up behind him and then comes in right up beside him. And you'll see it very clearly here in just a minute. So let's keep going. And I know what you're thinking. If you haven't seen this video, you're thinking, what is he talking about? I'm going to show you. But let's keep watching. This clip will be over, and then we're going to get into the analyzing of it, and you'll see that here in just a moment.
Come through, Ray. Come through. Come through.
I have a question. What motivated this man to give up and walk away all of a sudden when he was full of rage? Something changed, and even the way he walked and was acting was strange. Now, maybe it was a coincidence. Let's keep watching. The reason I'm letting it keep playing some of these areas is because I'm giving y'all guys a chance to be able to see anything that I possibly might miss. But there's a lot that I'm going to show you because the thing that flies in, I'm going to show you and demonstrate the speed and basically prove it to you. It it comes up out over the sky over there, goes around that tree out yonder at the end of the driveway there, and then it comes straight in, all in like a half a second. So it's traveling at enormous speeds. But we'll take a look at it, and there's two, three other times that it can be seen as well. Now, those other times are going to be kind of difficult for some of y'all guys on mobile to be able to see it, but it's there, and if you look on a bigger screen, you definitely can see it. So it's leaving a light stream behind it. The speed is supernatural. Let's see the clip at regular speed again. This is that's fast. Goes out and around that tree and comes up that fast. So let's look and see where it was there before earlier. That was you could see it in that clip. What? Up by the roof line. I have bigger monitors, and on my editor I can see it. It flies by up there real quick. And then again in a few moments later it does it again. It comes up from like under his chin area and flies across above his head, up high in the sky. Look right under his chin here and watch it shoot up. It's out in the distance away from him. There it goes, and it's going upwards. And there it goes above his head, going straight up. It's way out in the distance behind him, like it's flying around watching this man. It passes completely through the entire frame in less than a half a second, 10 frames to be exact. That puts the speed at approximately 1,000 miles an hour. Now let's look at the main clip again and see how fast it is there. That was 30 frames, aka 1 second. It flies from way out past the tree, down behind the tree, and then all the way up in 1 second. See? Not a bug. Now let's look at when it leaves. because it's still there, although I can't spot it. But when he does this, it's leaving. You can see it in the sky. It's hard to see on a phone if you're on a phone, but if you have a bigger monitor, you can see it up above his head out in the sky flying away. So there we have it. This is showing something, and I can see it really well on my editor that's on the screen above me when I'm editing it. It it it, it comes down, goes out around that tree that's in at the end of the driveway, and then comes all the way up to right to that bush area there in less than a second. That's a lot of distance for a bug to fly in less than a second. It's traveling. There's no way to know exactly how fast it's traveling, but it's traveling extremely fast. And the reason why this is interesting is one, because I don't think it's a bug. It doesn't look like a bug. I mean, it does in a way, but it doesn't act like a bug. Is a better way to say it. It does not act like a bug. It is just moving too fast, and it's leaving a stream of light in the sky behind it. And it reminds me of one of the videos we did, or one of the shows we did back probably about a month ago now, where these two younger guys were at a graveyard, and they were messing around, and something attacked the guy and bit him on the neck, and he was smacking at it, trying to get him off. And then we've had several other people come along and tell us this, that they think something bit them like this. And some of the people have been pretty sure. We've even had some more, which we're going to do a new episode here soon, telling some more stories of these supernatural things that we're calling dragons. 5D, fifth dimensional dragons is what we're calling them. They were actually originally discovered, and I'm not positive this thing is one of those, but it has a lot of the characteristics, because when these things, the 5D dragon thing that Dr. Robert from the Custodian File YouTube channel, Custodian File, he's filmed them many, many, many times. And when these things are actually going slower, they look like light. And then the faster they get, they actually turn to a dark color. There's images of it on the website, on the supernatural.show website. Matter of fact, there's a whole discussion group based on the 5D dragons that Dr. Robert out in Marina Del Rey, I think it is, in California, that he discovered. So yeah, not sure if that's one of them, but matter of fact, one of y'all guys sent this in, and y'all guys submitted it on the website. I was going to show you, and I appreciate y'all guys, which I've already communicated back with you on email, if you're watching this, where I sent you a thank you and everything, and I believe I sent you some bonus hearts on the website as well, which you can use to get discounts on things and get memberships and other things for free. But if you find a video that you think is got something supernatural going on in it, it doesn't matter what kind of supernatural. If you find one, come here to the website, the supernatural.show, and click on the TSS submissions tab up here. You see it? I'm messing with it up here. And click on the TSS pick or video of the day. And it'll bring you to this page where you can submit a picture, if it's a picture, okay, up to 25 megabytes. You can submit more than one. You just attach them all. And if it's a video, you do it over here. The TSS, which stands for the Supernatural Show, video of the day. and you put in your first name or nickname or whatever you want, email address, and uh, just click on file and upload your video. It can be up to an entire gigabyte, so it can be fairly long. Okay, or you can put a link like this person did. Put a link to, or this member, the Supernatural Show member did. Just put a link to the video that they seen it on YouTube and they spotted it, and so they wanted me to look at it. And here we are. We're on the show talking about it. So thank you very much for submitting that, because yeah, you're right. There's something supernatural going on there. Not positive as to what it is, but we're watching, and that's really what we're doing. Is we're trying to get people, get y'all guys, all of us, including myself, to be paying closer attention to things. Slow your mind down and pay attention to your world that surrounds you, that surrounds all of us. Literally a world, WHRLED world. And if we will pay attention, we're going to be able to see these kinds of things and understand them. And if you see them, submit them, send them in, so that way I can show it here so everybody can see it. And I appreciate y'all guys' participation on the website, because the website, I'm building it for y'all guys. It's the people's website, and literally it's built and set up for y'all guys to be able to use, so that you won't be censored and you won't be shut down. And if you have a supernatural story, you can submit it on the website as well. Just go to the website and click on submit story, which is that first button right there. And you can submit your supernatural story, like something that happened to you in your life. And I know there's some of you that have submitted stories that I haven't told yet on the show, but I promise you I'm going to get to all of them, and we're going to do that. We might even get a chance to do one today, but we're getting ready to talk to Dan um, about some things that I think you're going to find very interesting. Like, I'll just give you a little hint of the conversation. One is have y'all guys noticed anybody going postal, you might say? Have you noticed people just all of a sudden snap and just go do something that's completely out of normal for them? Have y'all guys been noticing any of this going on lately? Well, we're wondering if y'all guys are, and you're going to have your opportunity to do that. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to set up a new group on the website. Trying to think of it's a new discussion group on the website. As a member, you can go in and you can talk to everybody else that's on the website. There's lots of people on the website, and you can go in there and submit your information. Like, maybe you've seen this or that, or you've seen this video of this person doing this craziness or whatever it is. There's all these conversation groups that are on the website, and people in there talking about all these various different kinds of conversations. You can go here and click on discussion groups, and you can see all the different discussion groups that are there, listed and available for y'all guys to check out and go be part of. There's tons of groups, way more than I can take the time to show right now. Or you can just click here and start looking at the feed, seeing what people are talking about on the website. And we do that sometimes here on the show, but we're not doing that today. We're getting ready to actually talk to Dan here in just a moment. But I wanted to give you, and we might talk to Dan a little bit about this too, actually, because he's got some experience. Give you a little bit of an update about the People's Secret Reserve Plan. Um, we have been contacted. I can't say much at this point because we're just talking at this point, but we have been contacted by an individual that is interested in funding a complete secret refuge in a location that we can't disclose at this point. But and we're still looking for people that have various different skill sets that would like to help out with a project like this, meaning it's a self-sustained project where we don't have any need to go to the beast system or go to the matrix for anything. It's an attempt to try to build communities to allow a place for people to be able to go to come out of the system, to come out of her, to come out of the matrix. Okay? Because whether you would believe it or understand it or not, you live in the matrix and you live in the beast system. Revelations talks about it. It says, come out of her. And that's what we're trying to do. But we need your help. If you have something that you can contribute, at this point, we're not looking for necessarily for people who want to live there, okay? But we're looking for people that have the ability somehow to help, okay, with this dream, with this concept, with this idea of building some of these locations where people can go and take their family and raise their family and live in nature, the way it was originally meant to be, like going back to the garden almost, that kind of thing. And I know there's a million questions and a million problems and everything that could go wrong and 50 reasons not to do it. But I don't accept that. We're going to do it one way or another. And we already, like I said, we have an angel investor that is interested in funding an entire location, at least one. So, and we're in talks with her right now. So, with that being said, let me go ahead and text my friend Dan. I'll show you his YouTube channel real quick. This is Dan. Let me send him a message to go ahead and call me. Okay, Dan, comma. Go ahead and call in now. Period. All right. And while waiting on him to give a call, we'll take a look at his channel real quick and look at a few other things until he calls in. This is his channel here. I'm not sure why it's not showing the screens. Let me refresh that real quick. Showing the video cover images. There we go. This is Dan. He's got a channel where he's named More Than a Conqueror. And if you go listen to him, you're going to like the way this man thinks and the way this man talks. And you're going to really love the knowledge that he has. He's a spiritual warrior, boots on the ground kind of dude that you would call if your house was infested with supernatural things and you needed it taken care of. This is the kind of guy. And he talks about what these spirits are, and he calls them the strong man. Let me check while we're waiting on him here. He'll show up here in just a minute. So, yeah, this is my little thing where people call in at, and I can speak to him live on the show. But yeah, he calls them the strong men. If you go into the book of Enoch and do some reading in there, you can run into the descriptions of these strong men. It has to do with the natural weaknesses that we as humanity have, and these entities that will come in that is said that are the spirits of the fallen ones, basically, and their offspring, and they want to infest people's bodies and cause all kinds of chaos, from everything from jealousy to paranoia to everything, everything that seems to go wrong with man in so many ways. But while we're waiting on Dan, we're going to go ahead and I'm
here now, brother.
Oh, he is here now. Let me see here.
Yes, sir.
You're there. Well, what do you know?
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Dan, for giving us a call, buddy.
Oh, my pleasure. It is strictly mine.
Can you hear me okay?
I want to thank you for giving me. Yes, sir. I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me well?
Yeah. You're coming through good. So we wanted to talk about some things, and so be careful with how you describe this, but people will get the point of what we're talking about. So go ahead, Dan. Tell us what your question is and your concern.
my biggest question or concern is I have worked with several people that have gone through some very, very traumatic situations uh, and are trying to recover from those things. And here since Friday the 13th, uh, their behaviors have started to change.
Okay.
One called in blind panic last night, feeling like they had to leave, but they didn't have any idea where they were going. Another one.
They wanted to leave, but
like
they didn't have.
To do with too hot.
They wanted to leave, but they didn't have no idea where they were going.
Yeah, it just as driving sensation. They had to go somewhere.
Oh Lord.
And then the second one got up, dressed in camouflage, and said it felt like that it might be part of jihad.
Felt like they what?
People who have been through these.
Felt like they might be part
of a jihad.
Jihad. Whoa.
And we tend to think of that word as strictly a Muslim type thing, but that's not the case. All that word can be used to activate any number of things. And so when I started hearing this, I started to become concerned and wanted and I thank you so kindly for allowing me access to ask your audience if they are starting to see people who have been through situations. And we're talking about the very worst of situations.
So let me
done to them.
You know, when they were children, they were exposed to, and maybe not even necessarily just children, it could be people in general. Say again?
So in this particular situation, all of a sudden I'm starting to hear some behaviors that are completely out of the norm. And so it started to concern me. Was there on Friday the 13th an activation or a call?
Activation, like from the movie, reminds me of the movie Sail, when things not exactly the same, but similar. And there is an Illuminati.
One that gets a phone call on a consistent, not a consistent, but a sporadic time, and all be there are just tones.
So you're saying an actual phone call that these people are getting?
An actual phone call.
Okay.
Yes. And that it's not caused that person to do anything out of the normal. But it started to get my attention saying, well, why, is this persistent? And then I started hearing since Friday the 13th, the situations that I've heard. And I know that you have a much broader base and a much more aware audience that would notice these kinds of deviations from normal behavior.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, my audience is definitely aware.
Because if this is the case, then, we know that things are culminating to a point. And this point is going to be a very unpleasant point. We know that they have lost track of innumerable foreign cells here in the United States. But then all of a sudden I started hearing people that I'm aware of exhibiting unusual behavior. And so I needed to call and ask your audience if they have noticed anything like this.
Right.
Or if you yourself, Brother David, have become aware of it.
Well, I have. I mentioned a little bit to you earlier when we spoke on the phone that I spoke to someone yesterday and asked them about someone specifically, and they said, "Oh, he's in prison for murder," and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, I said, well, what happened? Did he lose his mind or what? And and he said he didn't know. He went on a crime spree all of a sudden, like a week ago, um, or not even quite a week. He went on a crime spree and went out and started robbing places and totally out of normal. This guy, and I'm not going to say his name. He is a YouTuber, has a pretty good sized YouTube channel. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just went on a crime spree, was robbing people, raping women, and even killed a woman out of nowhere. And I don't know the guy that well. I just know of him. And it's just, that's way out of character. And being that we're paying attention, I think it's something that we all need to be looking at. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a group on the website specifically about this. Um, and I got to think of a proper
I am
name.
so
I might
grateful
call
for
it
that.
Going Postal or something like that, but I've got to think of a proper name. But where people can go in and any story like this that they know of, they can go in there and they can tell us about it so that we can all know about these things that are happening. That's what the website's for. So go ahead,
Yes,
Dan.
sir. The third one that I had was that there was a guy that I know here in Manchester. They finished up, everything was great. Laughing and cutting up, and got up from the supper table. He walked in, turned the TV on, was going to watch something on TV, and then walked out the front door, went next door, and stabbed his neighbor.
Say that. Tell us that story
No
again.
reason. His family had just finished supper.
Finish supper. Oh, Dan, you there?
He got up from the meal, went in, was going to watch some TV, turned the TV on, walked out the front door, went next door, knocked on the door, and stabbed his neighbor.
Holy moly. Yeah, that's totally
Things
sounds
are,
triggered.
yes, that in all these instances, the one that did camouflage bird or train, the way it sounds, its horn as it comes through the town to let the traffic know it's coming. These are the kinds of things but all this seems to be occurring since Friday the 13th. So I thought, okay, did they flip a switch because they made that day the day of rage, and they were expecting all this outward manifestation of violence,
And they're
and
claiming.
then all of a sudden people who
Go ahead.
you wouldn't think would ever do such a thing.
Right.
Now you've got all these bad. So again, I want to thank you for having that chat room set up to where we can discover if this is something that is starting to occur nationwide.
Yeah, I'll have that group discussion set up. I think I'm just going to call it Going Postal or either let me see, SR. What's it called? SRA. Um,
SRA.
SRA triggered. Something like that. I'm going to call it something like that on the site. So when all y'all guys go over there, look for that new group. And, there's an Illuminati playing card. Those cards that they printed back in 1995 that was called the Illuminati playing card game. There's more than one really, but there's one exactly talking about this. There's one about going postal, as a matter of fact, because the cards were printed in 1995, and in 1995, late 1995, like November, that's when people started going postal in the post office back then, and went on into 1996 and 97. But there's another card too, and matter of fact, I'm going to take some pictures of them and put them on the website. But there's another card that is specifically about these people being triggered and them losing their stuff. And then on top of that, there is in iPet Goat, the animated video that it is called iPet Goat 2. Of course, there's the scene
Yes, sir.
in there where they are they're sitting there in like what looks like a bunch of cracked ice, and they're sitting there, and there's this man pulling on this bow. He's untying the bow real slow, and there's this person sitting there, and their eyes are flashing red, and then all of a sudden they go dark when the bow gets completely untied, and they're sitting there with an AK type weapon, and it's like saying this is going to be basically the light goes out in their the candle within them, that is the candle that was within all of us, but right between your eyes, right behind the Krista Galley bone. You can look that up, Krista Galley, or the galley where Christ hangs out. It's where the flame exists within you. But when that goes out, when the light goes out within you, it seems like iPet Goat 2 is definitely showing that as well. So, and we know that they
in the
also,
part
huh?
where the, what did you call it, the green dragon that's on the television?
Yeah, it's the dragon, exactly.
Some,
That's enraged, so
comes
he's
in behind that individual looking into the brain.
looking in the head.
Yes.
Yep, shouting at it. Yep, and they're of course the whatever you want to call it, that represents a person there. They're all looking confused and everything, and and then all of a sudden they go clunk, they click in like, oh, I know my mission now, and then they go walking off. And I think that's what we're talking about here, Dan.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yep.
Being careful because we're on YouTube, but that's exactly where I'm trying to go.
Right. Yep.
Is that all of a sudden you have normal behaviors and from people that you wouldn't expect, but these people have been through circumstances and situations.
Maybe spent some
And
time
then
in a
all of a
hospital.
sudden, since Bible 13, we start to see some really odd behaviors, some very violent behaviors.
Right.
You see these people are confused. Uh, so I'm just saying that I'm beginning to think that an activation is taking place
Mm-hmm.
because once that activation goes, if it's people that we're used to dealing with, our guard is down. These are people you speak to in the coffee shop or at the store or work with, and all of a sudden something happens. If you remember, there was an X-File where the guy got his prompting from a computer.
Huh.
So it just comes down to, I'm not saying it's going on. That's why I've come to your audience and say, if it is, please let us know so that we can start to get a better picture of what exactly is going on around us.
Yep.
In two of these instances, I was surprised that they didn't notify me because that tells me that the individuals weren't aware until it triggered. Or they would have called and we would have talked them down.
Right.
But that's not what occurred. Just all of a sudden they went from A to M without understanding how or why. So that was something that I really, if it happened once, okay, but now we have several instances just around me. And it really brought a concern to say, wait a minute, this could be going on nationwide.
Well, they have said, Dan, that I mean, I have to watch my words a little bit, but basically, they said they called for a global. They were calling for global. Yeah, yeah, and I think we should take them a little serious. The question is, Dan, what do you personally think that, let's say someone sees this going on, or 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 is knows that somebody has been triggered, and you have any idea what we should do? I mean, I have my own opinions, but I'm got you on here, so I'm gonna ask you.
Main thing that has worked so far is to bring them back to first love, to the Lord, the great healer. And in two of the instances, they were brought back to the Lord, and they didn't continue to act out whatever was being triggered. It got halted right there. The one here in Manchester occurred. It's just someone I see in the coffee shop. But start to notice, and if it's something that really concerns you, and the individual has no real explanation for the behaviors, then you're going to have to. You see something, you got to tell somebody, so that something can be aware before individuals get hurt, whether they hurt themselves or others.
Right. Yeah, it might
And I'm
not
not
be.
trying to fear monger here, but what I am saying is that with frequencies and all the shows that you've done in these areas, now all of a sudden we're starting to hear of deviant behaviors. Uh, I guess that in the case of the woman that was totally, she was going through a meltdown. That one we were able to get her back into the Word, get her back to the Lord, and calm down, and everything passed. I verified this morning that yes, everything is copacetic. The other one is a friend of mine working, and took her to the Lord, and at least for the moment, everything seems to be back on balance. She is back reading scriptures and rejoicing in the Lord, not feeling such a drastic pull. Now, these people are nefarious. Whatever keyed will key again.
Right.
We just have to be ample aware and start to find those things that are around them. You know, with the strong men you were speaking about when I came home, every one of those strong men are in Scripture. A spirit of necromancy, a spirit of fear, a spirit of death. Each one comes out of Scripture. So we have to understand that these things now are trying to utilize these precious brothers and sisters for acts that they never would have done any other way.
Yep. I
And
wonder.
so by finding what they want,
I wonder how much the snake bite has to. I would assume that there could be a component there as well. You know, the snake bite.
oh yes, because you're talking about, if nothing else, just the graphene that was in it
Mm-hmm.
is subject to frequency manipulating. The nanobots
Yeah, let's be careful.
are
Let's
subject
be
to
careful with our words a little bit more, Dan.
Okay,
But go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, you're okay. Just
The things that are within the snake bite certainly are susceptible to what is being targeted at our homes through the towers.
right,
So yes, there is that possibility.
because they would have
A
basically
combination there.
software within them that's reprogramming their DNA and attacking the brain as well, obviously. And also another thing that people are noticing a lot, we've got a lady here locally who has an extraordinary amount of parasites that are coming out of her skin all over her entire body. She's pinching out parasites, and I've seen the parasites, and it reminds me of the video called "Died Suddenly," and the parasites that were in the bloodstream. It's these same parasites, but they're coming out through the skin, literally by the dozens all over this person's body, here locally where I'm at. And ears, nose, uh, where else? Ears, nose, eyes, and of course they're in the bloodstream
Are these
as well.
Margellans?
Huh?
Are these Margellans?
No, these are larger actual parasites uh, that that are white looking and look like a grub. Basically, it looks just like if you remember this past Halloween, and I can pull up a picture of
Wait
this.
a minute, I'll call something on this. I did see something on this. It's been quite a few months ago, but I did see where they were showing two people who all of a sudden would pinch out these and one man is the lady that you're talking about, but they were pinching out those parasites out of the skin.
Yeah, pinching out the skin.
Wow.
There's I have an image up on the screen now, but it was of the Heidi Klum's Halloween party last year, and they showed, of course, Elon. He was dressed up as the dragon, which makes sense for him, of course. And but there was Heidi Klum herself was dressed up as a parasite, which you can't see it, I don't think, but on the screen here, everybody else can see it. It looks like a grub, like a worm almost, but this is the image of it, and they showed us right during the, they showed us with these images what is going on, because parasitic activity is one of the occult's favorite things to do and use, including subjects that are spelled like CANCER. Matter of fact, there's a group on the website where you have to go in there and look at it, but there's ways to get rid of some of these parasites, if not all of them. And people need to be aware of this. If you feel like you've got these parasites, especially the one that causes CANCER, you need to make sure you go on the website and get some of the anti-parasite stuff that people have been using successfully, even at stage 4, people that have stage 4 cancer. I'll say it one time there. And yeah, people need to be looking into that. Shannon is putting together an entire report on everything we know about this anti-parasitic cure that people have discovered. And it was discovered by accident. A man he was worked in a veterinarian, not a clinic, but a place where they study all these things. And they were studying some rats, and the rats had cancer, and they accidentally went to deworm the rats and cured the cancer, and it killed off the parasites, because that's what it is. And if you think about what happens to a cancer patient, of course, there I said it twice, you're talking about something that causes the person, sucks all the life and energy out of them and just eats them alive. And that's what we're dealing with, is parasites. But I'll leave that part of the subject alone for now. But yeah, parasites. There's a lady here, and I'll put the photos and stuff on the website as well. I just created the new group just now. I called it SRA Victims Triggered / Going Postal. And you can go in there and add anything that y'all guys know about it, any of you that are listening, any instances of anybody that's going on with this, or if you have knowledge around this subject, please go there and share it so that everybody can see it. Because, that's what we're doing. We're trying to educate people and also talk to them and ask them what they know, because right this second, we've got over 250 people live, which is a large number for being live. And which means this video is going to get a lot of play in the many thousands. And y'all guys are the people, the viewers are the one that really have the answers, because y'all guys as a collective all out there have the knowledge. You're the eyes and ears out there for this show, because of course, like I say, this is the people's show, because it gives y'all guys a voice, you know. Just like Dan, that's how I met Dan, as a matter of fact, through this show. As a matter of fact. Uh, Dan, I know there's another conversation we want to get into, but unfortunately, I've got an appointment I've got to get to, and so I'm gonna have to get with you tomorrow when we have our get together tomorrow.
Maybe when we go back to the bed,
Yeah, the Beyond the Veil
we
video.
can continue. The only thing I would leave, if I may, is that as we approach the ritual of Samhain
Mm-hmm.
on the 31st, I'm looking for a lot of these behaviors to start picking up.
Yeah.
So I again ask your viewers to please, if you notice any completely different behavior from people you know, record it there, and let's start to see how widespread this truly is.
You know, document it, and the way you can document it so we can all put it together is on the website. That's why I built it. So, yep, Halloween coming up. It'll be it's gonna be interesting. We gotta keep our eyes open and be paying attention. And I hope all y'all guys out there watching will do that and help us out. And a lot of things on the website, guys, just so you know, are working a lot better. I know there's been problems, and due to my inexperience of building such a massive website, but I've fixed. I ain't gonna say all of it, because I only know of what I know, but I've fixed most of it. So if you've had problems in the past, please go back and try to log back in and get your account going and stuff, because I have fixed a lot of things. And there's on the front page of the website too, you have a tab right here. If you had problems with signing up and you weren't sure how to get it completed and everything, you can come right here and click on this button on the home page, and it'll bring you here, and it gives you exact instructions as to how to become a member of the website and what your options are. So, but Dan, my brother, thank you very much for coming and talking to us about this, because it is hugely important. And guys,
I want to thank your audience so very much for taking the time to hear this and to responding. So may the Lord bless you all mightily. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too, Dan. And we'll be talking to you. I'll get a hold of you, or either you get a hold of me in the morning. Okay.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you again soon. Well, guys, that was Dan from the new YouTube channel. He's got about 4 videos up, and already he got 47 subscribers, and with just 4 videos, and got over 800 views on one video right here, which is amazing. So please, go over and subscribe to him. Show him some support. I wouldn't have him on here like this if he wasn't somebody that I respected their opinion and their knowledge. So with that being said, yeah. So let's see. Anything else? I think that is basically about it for the show today. What I'm going to do is, I've got some things I've got to take care of this afternoon. But I'll be back with y'all guys again on, let's see, today is Monday. I'll be back for sure on Wednesday and for sure on Friday. But if anything else is going on, it might be even sooner. So you never know. But with all that being said, thank y'all guys for being here. I can see there is 250 people live still, and hundreds and hundreds of comments. And I just greatly appreciate y'all guys' support. And if you're wondering how you can support this show and our mission that we're on and what we're doing, go over to the website and become a member. And you're going to benefit from it. Literally, you're going to benefit from it, because I've created an awesome website. I'm improving it every day. Yes, there's been problems. but I'm improving it every day. And the way it works is it normally costs $3.99 per month. Okay. But what I've done is I've set up a discount code that you can see there at the end, the 75% off 3 months, $6.52. That's a coupon code basically. And you can follow the instructions on the website right here of how to become a member. And when you go to choose your plan, if you will choose this plan that says $3.99 a month, and you use that discount code right there, and it will reduce it to less than $1 a month for the first 3 months. So you get a chance to see if this is truly a place where you can gain knowledge and share knowledge and not be censored. And there's just tons of things to do on the website, and I'm improving it every day. And I'll give y'all guys more update on that later. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. I love you guys so much. And I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you watching. Most importantly, you need to remember that our Father in heaven loves you. And if you're struggling and you need prayers or maybe even assistance, go on the website as well, because there's a group specifically for that where you can request prayers and even financial assistance on the website. You just want to make sure that you have your profile set up correctly, so that way. All right, I see Blue Sky saying she's unable to log in on the website. I can see our conversation. She just popped up. And so, Blue Sky, I will get with you here in just a few minutes in the chat. Let me send her a message real quick. I am live, but I will be with you in just a moment. Hang on, please. There. So, and y'all guys can use the chat to talk to all the other members on the website as well. And there's a list there for you to see all the members. There's close to 700 on there now at this point. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Yeah, I think something that I'm forgetting, but, can't remember everything. This ain't scripted. So, with that being said, I'm going to get out here, guys. I love you, and we will see you again real soon here on the Supernatural Show. Come on over and be a member. Let's talk.